Hi guys, God gave me a very powerful revelation when I was reading the story where Abraham is asked to sacrifice his son, and he called that spot Jehovah Jireh. But in this instance, when Abraham decided to name that Jehovah Jireh, that was anything but basic. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, this is Tinicia Leaine, your favorite spiritually fit coach, with a quick nugget that God shared with me today. I was reading Genesis 22, the story where Abraham took his only son as instructed by God to sacrifice him. So Abraham obeyed. He got his, things he needed together, the wood, and he went on the mountain to sacrifice his son. His son turned to him and said, "Father." He said, "Here I am." And then his son said, "I see, the different provisions, like the wood," I'm paraphrasing, "for the sacrifice, but I don't see the lamb." And then Abraham said to his son, "God will provide the lamb." And so Abraham went straight through. He built the altar. He stacked the wood. He bound his son, laid him on the wood, got his knife, raised his knife, and was about to kill his son when an angel called from heaven and said, "Abraham, Abraham." And Abraham paused and said, "Here I am." And he said, "Don't kill your only son." And that's another juicy nugget right there to get into, why God would refer to his son as an only son when he already had Ishmael. But that's a whole nother story about how staying in God's will is crucial. And so the angel said, "I see now that you did not even withhold your only son from God." Like God saw his level of sacrifice. Listen here, Abraham was 100 years old when he finally had the promise delivered to him to have Isaac, and Sarah was 90. She said, "God has made me to laugh, and everyone who hears me laughs with me." And he even celebrated when his son was weaned. Listen here. Listen here. To celebrate every milestone, that seems like an understatement. When his son was weaned, feast. Listen here. He had the means, and this is how valuable and important having this son, the promise that God had delivered on. It meant so much. But here's the part, the nugget I wanted to mention. Abraham named that location Jehovah Jireh after God actually provided a ram in the thicket. But in this instance, when Abraham decided to name that Jehovah Jireh, that was anything but basic, because it was extreme levels of faith right there. Picture this. Jehovah Jireh, my provider. Every time we tend to hear this, oh, God is going to provide for me on all of our basic needs, but it was extreme levels of obedience to God. He was operating on the most extreme levels for that God would provide and that God would come through for him. That is the difference. It's a very high level of sacrifice that was made to know that God would come through and provide. Guys, I just wanted to share this with you. God shared that nugget with me, and so he wanted me to share that with you. It was my absolute pleasure to do so. If you haven't done so already, join my community. I would love to have you there. The Next Level Mind Shift Movement is a Christian group. And you are free to like my Fit Tribe apparel page. Mwah. Love you. But of course, God loves you most of all. Take care.